There were goals galore in the first two matches in Group F of the AFC Champions League last week. 4 of them scored by Urawa Reds, 7 of them conceded by Shandong Taishan. Tonight the two meet at the Urawa Stadium in Thailand, with Shandong facing a huge challenge against the J-League giants and 2 times AFC Champions League winners, not least in erasing the memory of last week's humiliation at the hands of Daegu. Lion City Sailors' stunning win over the Koreans. Daegu earlier though means there are now 3 teams on 3 points in this group. There's a great chance for the Reds tonight to pull away at the top. This is the second match day in the eastern zone of the 2022 AFC Champions League, which kicked off later than the western zone, being held in Saudi Arabia, and is already 4 match days old in some groups. 26 degrees here in Buriram, Thailand. Only the 10 group winners are guaranteed a spot in the knockout round, and then we'll have the best 3 runners-up from each zone going through to the knockout stages. The back-to-back fixtures between the Reds and Daegu, well, coming into this group, look like deciding its destiny. That is, who finishes top and qualifies automatically, and who drops to second, and waits and wonders. But a brilliant performance by the tournament debutants, the Lion City Sailors earlier, has made them part of the qualification conversation. It's one of the great dynamics about this competition in 2022, the 20th season since this competition was revamped, the 42nd since the first continental tournament for Asian clubs was introduced in 1967 as the Asian Clubs Championship. It's been quite a journey since Hapoel Tel Aviv of Israel defeated Thai side Selangor in December 1967 in Bangkok to become the first Asian club champions. The team everyone's hunting down as the latest team to catch, to displace the Saudis of Al Hilal, who overcame Pohang Steelers of Korea Republic last November to win their 4th title and become the most successful team in the history of the competition in the process. We await for the teams to exit the tunnel. Urawa Reds, one of 11 teams to have won this competition twice. Most recently in 2017, they were in the final. As recently though as 2019, beaten at home and away by Al Hilal for a 3-0 aggregate defeat. There are plenty still at the club who remember the pain of that loss, if not necessarily in the starting 11 tonight, and we'll be using it as fuel to mount another assault on the latter stages. Chinese teams are fielding young squads in the AFC Champions League this season with ominous results thus far. It really is a massive test again for this young Shandong Taishan team here. Well, Shandong were beaten in the round of 16 in 2019 by Guangzhou, their Chinese counterparts. But indeed, any return to the knockout stages for those two this year seems unlikely, really, in truth. As if Shandong's 7-0 loss to Daegu wasn't bad enough for the Chinese morale. Guangzhou were destroyed 8-0 by Kawasaki Frontale in Group I earlier. The inevitable outcome, I'm sure some will say, when the Chinese teams have decided to throw in their youth players, throw them in at the deep end. Thunder is the name of the game as far as Urawa Reds are concerned here. Let's be honest, they're going for goals and they're going for a big win. Anything less than 3 points, the base level requirement from tonight, would be a major surprise for Ricardo Rodriguez's team. It's a decent expat community following the Reds, banging the drum behind that goal away to our right in the opening day victory. kick-off approaches here. Around 5 minutes away in Buriram. And the teams enter the arena here in Buriram, about 350 kilometres east of the Thai capital, Bangkok. Major changes made by Ricardo Rodriguez here. He obviously feels there's a little bit of wriggle room against Shandong Taishan. He'll have taken in that performance. And it's the same team that starts as far as Yang Wei and Shandong Taishan are concerned here. Sakine comes in to captain the team. Takehiro Sakine, the 26-year-old, been a Reds man. His entire career was part of the final in 2019 and the disappointment of that loss to Al Hilal. We have a referee from Sri Lanka tonight. So, experimenting is the name of the game as far as the two coaches are concerned. Ricardo Rodriguez, the Tinker Man, strikes again. He loves to experiment with his starting lineup. Hasn't named the same team twice in 10 J1 matches this season. 9 changes to the starting 11 here from the team that beat Lion City Sailors. Zion Suzuki, the 19-year-old goalkeeper, and Danish defender Schultz are the only players retained. Sakine then comes in to captain the team on the right of the three, behind the main striker. So, Gamini Robesh is the man in the middle here, assisted by a compatriot from Sri Lanka on the one line, and a local running the opposite line here. Our match officials tonight. Well, talk about learning on the job and learning about the brutality of top-level competition. This Shandong team is the same team that lost so humiliatingly to Daegu last week. Average age 20. Bakram, who's 19, will lead the line. I'll expect them to sit back and try and repel everything that the Reds will try to throw at them here. And Cao Zheng, the goalkeeper, is 20, and 1 or 2 mistakes, including a horrific tread on the ball to concede that second goal against Daegu last week. But he's in again. Tough formative experiences for these young Chinese players. Plenty of quality on the bench, by the way, as far as Urawa Reds are concerned. Ricardo Rodriguez, J-League Coach of the Season in 2021, added the Japanese Super Cup triumph over champions Kawasaki Frontale in February to the Emperor's Cup victory, and it was that 2-1 win over Oita Trinita in Tokyo that provided the route into this year's AFC Champions League for the Reds. Former Olympic team player for China, Yuan Wei, heads up their youth development program and this big Champions League challenge in 2022. So, Group F of the 2022 AFC Champions League continues with Japan versus China, Urawa Reds against Shandong Taishan here in Buriram, Thailand. Massive challenge presents itself again in front of these young Chinese players. So, Jin and Shong, the fullbacks, Yang and Lin, I'm sure will have anticipated a busy shift here. And they're going to leave Bakram up front. It's a 4-2-3-1 as far as Urawa Reds are concerned. There's been so much chopping and changing of the starting lineup and indeed the formation for Urawa Reds in J1 this season. Miyamoto has come into the starting team here, the 22-year-old. It's only his third appearance all season. Akimoto gets a first touch there. So Miyamoto, Mawatari will be the fullbacks for Urawa Reds here. Shinen and Alexander Schultz, the Dane, through the middle. 14. The captain Sakine. They operate with the two holding players as well, ahead of the back four with the attacking three. And the lone striker Akubo tonight. This is the Dane Schultz, one of only two players to retain his place in the starting team. Sakine threads through the pass and well, might latch onto the loose connection. The Shandong defensive ranks Yoshio Koizumi. They work it wide to Takehiro Akimoto, and it comes through Tomoaki Akubo. And the attempt will be to set up camp as early as possible in the Shandong half here. So there's Sakine and Koizumi. Sakine again. Yeah, everyone banked back here for Shandong Taishan. This will set the tone for the entire contest. Look how far forward the centre half is. There's Schultz. Little ball around the corner. Nicely worked, and the clipped cross, or at least that was the attempt from Miyamoto. Shandong haven't been able to clear. It's Mawatari. Feeds it back inside. Again, they played their way through. Furthest forward there was Akubo. Couldn't quite shovel it across. First intervention there required of Yang. There was contact in the middle, but it just came a little behind Akimoto there. He just had to sort of angle backwards and try and steer it on target. Schultz. Forward there to Sakine. Healed across. And the follow-up on the volley, Miyamoto, who was unable to get the connection that he would have wanted there. But unsurprisingly, they're at their defensive stations right from the off here, Yuan Wei's team. And Rodriguez had a fantastic first year at Urawa Reds. Tokushima Vortis promoted the year before that, but earned his big move to challenge in the top flight with one of the biggest teams in Japan. If you're looking at the continental returns, then they are Japan's most successful club, Urawa Reds, with 3 appearances in the AFC Champions League final. That has to be thumped away by Chen Zhechuan. Kai Shibato, who's part of that shielding 2 ahead of the back 4. Koizumi. Reds here. Shinen. It's a good-looking pass forward to Takahiro Akimoto. Just enough from Yang to put him off his stride. And that's the problem for Shandong when they have possession. Goes without saying they need to be precious with the ball. They weren't there. It was slung forward rather aimlessly by Long Ting Wei. And there goes Miyamoto round the outside again. Akimoto, Tetsuya Shinen, a shock of blonde hair, alongside Schultz at the back. Sakine just threading the pass and then going for the return. Very loose, allowing Koizumi the chance. As Miyamoto in support, comes back to Sakine. And then the follow-up from Yasui. Well, a shot on goal, and that's important. The direction a little off from Kaito Yasui. As much as Shandong are all about youth, it's a feature of the changes that Rodriguez has made to the Urawa Red starting team. Kubo at 23, Yasui at 22, Miyamoto as well, the fullback at just 22. An opportunity to give young players an experience of the cut and thrust of continental competition. It wasn't a good challenge, was it, by Yi Shanlong? That's Bakram. Be a lonely old match for him up front. Sekine. That might come through to Kao. Indeed does. Runner from deep was Tomoako Kubo. He's played just 1 minute in J-League this season, Tetsuya Shinen. For the bench in the 1-1 draw with Shimizu S Pulse at the start of the month. Both of these teams taking a break from their domestic campaigns. Their top flight in Japan is 8 matches old. They're only 4 matches from the end of the Chinese Super League competition, which sees Shandong on top though, but certainly not these players who've achieved that. Possession stats are going to be really eye-watering. We're presented with those at the midway point, battling in there here. Shandong Taishan. Room again for Takahiro Sakine, just nudging it across to Koizumi. This manages to flit in field there and get the ball onto his left foot. There was a turbulence ahead of him though. 3 white shirts there, converging on Yoshio Koizumi, and no clear sight of goal. 48 years of age, from Oviedo in Spain, Ricardo Rodriguez. First, a Spanish coach to win trophies in Japanese football. And deep for Shandong again. Sakine goes again. There's Miyamoto supporting him. Sui turns and gives it back to Schultz. And Miyamoto lifts it over the top, and it's touched wide by Shibato. Well, one of the deepest lying midfielders they have, getting that far forward gives you an idea of the approach. Shibato, he doesn't quite commit to it, does he? Kai Shibato has been a scorer this season in the J-League. Goal in the 2-2 draw with Vissel Kobe back at the end of February. Schultz brings it on. They always have Kasper Juncker, another Dane, on the bench if things don't go to plan in an attacking sense here for Urawa Reds. Awatari, well forward on the left-hand side there. The Reds are trying the intricacies. Here's Sakine. Still going there, Sakine. Again, too many bodies between he and Cao Zheng, the Shandong goalkeeper. Schultz for Jinen. A rather under-hit return pass there to Miyamoto. And Shinen with that header. Now then, an opportunity for something to happen. No. Lu Yongtao rushed the pass forward. He was looking for Bakram. Shinen. Nothing happening down the left-hand side, so they switch it to the 29-year-old Dane, Alex Schultz. Shinen looking for Mawatari. Yongtao, this is better from Shandong. They wait for supporting players. Oh, cute from Schultz. Feeds it back to Kai Shibato. Then Akimoto. There's the runner, Okubo. That's Koizumi in the middle, and there is Okubo! Oof. It would have been a goal with a cherry on top. Trying the little flick. The cutback came just behind him, which meant Okubo was invited to try that little flick. He gambled on the ball at the near post, kind of overruns it, which is why we see that attempt at the finish. Would have been quite special. A quarter of an hour gone in Buriram. Urawa Reds failing to break down Shandong Taishan. Mawatari. Oh, he's done well, and he rifles that across the face. No one attacking it, in fairness, for the Reds. The two attackers stationed on the edge of the 6-yard box there. This was a lovely little step over, giving himself the yard on the defender Kazuaki Mawatari. Comes in behind Cao Zhang. So still nothing. Shinen. Schultz. Got a Sri Lankan referee, I think, just considered for a split second there that the playing of an advantage, but decides that the clip there on Yuta Miyamoto should be followed by the awarding of a free kick. Kubo there, Mawatari. The delivery from Mawatari. Again, enough white shirts to diffuse the danger. His fans banging the drum for Urawa Reds. It does create a sense of atmosphere and occasion. Biosecure bubbles, again, the order of the day in the AFC Champions League for another season. Now that COVID hasn't gone away. And what would otherwise be a somewhat eerie atmosphere, empty stadium, it's great to hear a bit of noise. Shinen to Schultz. Dane, who's having an awful lot of possession. Alex Schultz. He was an Emperor's Cup winner last year. He's won cups in Belgium and back home in Denmark. Also a Super League winner with Midfield in 2020. Miyamoto has feeds it back to Shinen. Schultz again. Kuzumi. And Schultz. They pretty much line up when they're defending, when they haven't got the ball. Shandong is 2 lines of 5. Even Bakram there. It's Deng who gets close to the man in possession. Testing all their powers of inventiveness here, Urawa Reds, to break down this well-organised Shandong team. It was Yi Shanlong who punched it forward. Bakram now with a rare foray into Urawa Reds territory. Yi Shanlong still with it. Yi Shanlong, is he going to go for goal? He is, and it took a nick. Better and way more positive from Shandong Taishan here. Bakram holding the ball up well, and then the 21-year-old Yi Chanlong just trying to work it central, give himself the best angle of approach really to try and test Zion Suzuki. Corner to the near post, and it was flicked on by Liu Yongtao. Well, it was a nice aggressive attempt to meet the corner. Struggled for purchase, but that's better from Shandong Taishan. Well, the fact that they've not gone with their first choice for reasons of security and safety during the pandemic has denied the AFC Champions League of the opportunity to see Marouane Fellaini, the Belgian, 34 years of age now, formerly of Man United and Everton, of course. And part of their first choice squad, which is heading for another Superliga title back home. No way through for Sekine. Deng there with a really useful intervention. It was up to Bakram. He can't put his foot on it, bring others into play. So we're past the halfway point in the first half now. Urawa Reds 0, Shandong Taishan 0 is the score here. Group F of the AFC Champions League. Second match for both in this biosecure bubble in Buriram, Thailand. Chin in. Schultz. Miyamoto, lovely little ball over the top for Koizumi. Well, they're going to challenge and request everything there, but the referee had none of it. A brief, half-hearted shout for a handball. Then Koizumi with the little ball round the corner for Sekine. Oh, he's done really well here, Sekine. Koizumi takes over. Little offload to Shibato. Schultz. Working hard here, Shandong Taishan. And two red shirts convening on Bakram. Back for Chinen. Shandong have been domestic champions way more recently than Urawa Reds, who've not won J1, the Reds, since 2006 now. Akimoto just wouldn't run for him, and Akimoto does really well. Schultz just almost has to shoulder charge the referee out of the way. There's a tangle. It was Chen and Schultz again. The referee had none of it, and the ball swept down the line for Bakram to chase, but Chinen is the covering player. Sekine doing really well there. Sekine, little ball through, and gets it back to... Where's it going to drop? Well, it's in the back of the net. Touched over the line by Akimoto. Following in after good work there from Sekine in the build-up. It's taken 25 minutes, but the opening goal has been scored. Well, that resistance is... broken 25 minutes in, a bit of inventiveness. Sekine, first challenge was good actually, took the sting out of it though, and Akimoto is just able to scramble it over the line. You feel a bit for Kao there, the goalkeeper. But Takahiro Akimoto breaks the deadlock. It's his first goal since August last year, and a J-League match with Sagan Tosu off the bench for the last 20 minutes against Lion City Sailors. So he's grabbed his chance here. Well, they were very patient, in fairness. Rewarded finally for the incessant attacks of the opening 25 minutes here in Buriram. It's Lin who slid in to challenge Sekine initially, and then Kao stopped the first attempt as they look for a second goal. It was a charge by Mawatari up from the left-hand side of the Reds' defence there. The flag is raised. Well, that was the earlier shout from Schultz. He's weaving his way into the area, and there is an argument for the tangle there as Chen comes in to challenge. I'll perhaps worry a little bit less about that now. Mawatari. Tried the early pass into the goalscorer Akimoto. Shibato. Nice ball round the corner for Miyamoto. On rushing Sekine. Yuta Miyamoto again. A little bit loose from the Reds. Retrieved by Sekine, waits for the movement. And a heavy challenge, that's going to be a penalty. Well, it was for the challenge on Akimoto through the back, just as Akimoto goes to get airborne and knot it down, perhaps even bring the ball down for himself there. It's Jin Nuo who comes in to charge him. Perhaps the inexperience there is betraying Shandong once more. A poor challenge to make, and having broken through in the 25th minute, there is a chance now to grab another goal here. Alexander Schultz, he scored a penalty against Jubilo Iwata at the back of March. His last 4 goals have all been from the penalty spot. Going back to his Midtjylland days. A chance here for his second goal for Urawa Reds and his first in the AFC Champions League. It's Schultz who slots home. Kao went the right way, and now a very difficult task. Got even more perilous for Shandong. Poor penalty to give away. And now, having held out for 25 minutes, there's the concession of 2 goals in the space of 5. about the strength of character from here on in for Shandong Taishan? Just a whisker away, Cao. Well, he has improved them, Schultz, since joining from Midtjylland. Naturally, there'll be tougher tests to come in the Champions League, but he's composed on the ball. Decent from set pieces, as we know. CHN is the latest player to run in behind. Back-to-back matches against Daegu, the Korean side. Next up in this group for Urawa Reds. But an absolutely magnificent performance by Lion City Sailors, who are appearing in the AFC Champions League for the first time this season. It's really upset Daegu and given this group another dimension. Afraid to say that Shandong look in real trouble already. There's plenty of football still to be played, we know that, but the youth-based approach from the Chinese teams is proving problematic. This is cross swung in by CHN, carries across to Mawatari. Chinduo ahead of him. Oh, so close to another. Akimoto. Really good, positive play down the left-hand side. Useful ball into the near post. And Akimoto gets there ahead of Ling Guoyu. It's not a million miles away. Well, it's a test for players and coach alike, really. Yu Yuan Wei has plenty of experience. Is the former midfielder from the Olympic team in the 90s, Yu Yuan Wei. Assisting Hao Wei in terms of the broader coaching setup at Shandong Taishan. Rather like separate coaches for the Olympic teams and youth setups. That's the approach that Shandong and Guangzhou have used for the AFC, the Champions League this season. Miyamoto gives it to Schultz. Gets it away. Before the ball had rolled out of play. Tetsuya Chinen. Kai Shibato. Yuto Miyamoto. Alexander Schultz drops the shoulder, drifts past that first defender. It's an early cutback as well. And something of a daisy cutter from Tomoaki Akubo, but needed saving. Again, patient build-up play, ends up healing it. Akubo. But no danger. Urawa Urawa Reds in control of this AFC Champions League tie. Chen, Yi Chanlong, along the way. Sakina upset with himself that having made that intervention he could then build on it. I suppose in the context of this match, the obvious choice was to hand the captain's armband to Takehiro Sakine. Schultz would have been a contender as well, but they've gone home-based with Sakine, who has experience outside of Japan. Had a couple of seasons in Europe not that long ago with Sweden in Belgium on loan from Ingolstadt in the Bundesliga. But either side of that has been a Reds man all his career. So often the starting point of a lot of the attacking play that the Reds have been responsible for here. Tetsuya Chinen, centre half, very accomplished on the ball. Way, just can't untangle his feet. There's Shinen again. Miyamoto, little step over, draws in the defender, then works the combination with Sakine. Miyamoto far past that first defender, but not the second. Schultz, Koshimato. Sakine. Miyamoto did well there. Schultz again. Playmaker almost. The way this has panned out, Alexander Schultz. Might drop here for Sakine. Back ram. Schultz all the way back to his goalkeeper, Zion Suzuki. A test for the concentration of the goalkeepers in a contest as one-sided as this, as pretty much everything happens in the opposing half of the field. He'll take it, of course. So Koizumi, who tried to dig out the pass, Zhonglin Rui, and then Jin Luo, who tries to hassle it clear. That composure lacking again, I'm afraid, from Shandong. Pass over the top for Akimoto is too heavy. Schultz. We're in the last 5 minutes of the first half. Chen, given away. Okubo. Straight at Cow. Sighter for Tomoako Okubo. Catches it. But with not the requisite amount of swerve, really. So Schultz will push them on again. Good last-ditch challenge, just preventing Sakine from getting in there. Schultz gives it back to Shinen. Then Yasui. Koizumi, it's a searcher to the far side. Mawatari was the furthest forward, or at least the furthest forward as the latest runner. But too much bend on the cross. Well, every time you expect something, a combination down the right or the left, a cross in. It's just the two, you would say, for Urawa Reds, but unfortunately you just can't really see Shandong breaking through from open play. There was the one little burst which forced a corner. Other than that, Bakram has, well, struggled to keep the ball in his orbit, bring others into play, play it on, and then move for something deeper into an attack. Maybe the second half will bring new hope for Shandong. Shame about that shot from Shibato. Probably all sense an opportunity to just improve the goal-scoring numbers here. Shandong found themselves 3 down at half-time against Daegu. But there was an early conceding of the 4th goal after the restart in that first match here at the Buriram City Stadium last week. Psychologically, that did for them. They're going to have a single extra minute here. Shibalto, and then Koizumi switches back in field. Good intervention there by Lu Yongtao. Now then, it's Bakram, a searching pass out wide for Lu Yongtao, who'd made the dart forward. Any kind of flicker of hope they'll take here, Shandong. But Urawa Reds are going to be in control. This 2-goal cushion at the break. As Schultz finds Sakine, they offload it immediately to Miyamoto. And the cross in as they try to add another to the tally before the half-time whistle goes. Miyamoto has stayed forward, needs another good cross, carried over the goalkeeper, too far ahead of Akimoto. Mawatari retrieves it. Shibato, he lost possession, and the ball is out of play. And that will pretty much be that. Another painful 45 minutes of AFC Champions League football for Shandong Taishan. On the back foot almost continuously in that first 45. Akimoto gave them the lead with that breakthrough goal in the 25th minute, and a penalty slotted home by the Danish defender Schultz 4 minutes later means that Urawa Reds are set fair here to return to the top of the Group F table on match day 2 of the AFC Champions League. Half-time in Buriram. It is Urawa Red Diamonds 2, Shandong Taishan 0. players coming back out then ahead of the second half here in this AFC Champions League match. Urawa Red Diamonds of Japan 2 up here on Shandong Taishan of China. We've got a change by the looks of things. Takuya Iwanami is coming on, one of the survivors from recent Champions League campaigns, the painful defeat in the 2019 final, and a few years prior to that, the victory that they achieved in 2 legs. Just a little tweaking of the personnel. Iwanami, a centre half. %83 possession in that first half for Urawa Reds. 2 goals to show for it. Akamoto and Schultz within the space of 5 minutes as we approach the half-hour mark. The second was a penalty. So Shandong desperate for a good, solid, encouraging, open start to the second period here. And there's Bakram getting to the byline, a rise in the energy levels is evident from the off. They conceded early in the second half of their first group match here, attacking at the other end. Shandong. It's the 48th minute, and the 4th goal went in against Daegu. So Schultz and Kubo have gone off. In have come Iwanami, and wearing 17 there. That's Alex Schalk, the Dutch striker. He's not started in the J-League yet. Off the bench on only 1 occasion, so an opportunity to have a look at the 29-year-old, a former Netherlands under-21 international. Came in after 4 seasons at Servette Geneva in Switzerland. A rare opportunity for Rodriguez, the coach, to have a look at his players and some of the fringe members of the squad in a top-level competitive environment. Okay, we can maybe talk about the relative challenges put up by the youth players of Shandong, but this is still Champions League. Just a reminder that we're in Thailand, Buriram. 2 stadiums in this city in the eastern part of Thailand being used for 2 groups in the eastern zone. Good ball to the far post. First opportunity to clear it upfield, not taken. Second is, though. They're looking to reset the tempo. This is the Buriram City Stadium, home to the 3-time treble champions of Thailand, Buriram United. Hosting matches in this section, and Group I as well, the group of Vissel Kobe. Strong Japanese contingent. Shanghai Port were supposed to play in this city as well before they withdrew from the competition because of COVID complications. All the Western Zone groups, by the way, being played in Saudi Arabia, 4 cities across Saudi. Also got action happening in Bangkok in Group G, and Malaysia. That's where Kawasaki Frontale are playing, the 2-time champions of Japan, winners of the top flight in Japan 4 out of the last 5 seasons. They've been absolutely rampant, ruthless at home, dominating the J1 division of Kawasaki Frontale. They're the team that beat Guangzhou Evergrande earlier by 8-0 after the 1-1 with Ulsan Hyundai. And Mawatari. That's Yasui. Ball is wide on the right. Little pass through by Sakine. Need to replicate that combination again down the right-hand side. Sakine and Miyamoto. Once again, establishing the tempo, having plenty of the ball here, Urawa Reds. It's just a little too heavy for Kazuaki Mawatari. He's been a constant threat down the left-hand side as Mawatari for the Reds, for whom the ex-back contingent is still banging the drum here in Buriram. Well, you feel he has ability there, Bakram, Bayalamu, Abdul Ali. But it's just been a real struggle for them to string anything together. A couple of rare forays in the first half, did force a corner, but sort of consistent structured play in open play has been an issue for Shandong Taishan in this match. So the Reds picking it up again. So 10th currently on 10 points back home, Urawa Reds. Just the 2 victories in their opening 10 league matches, 4 defeats. They did start slowly last season and then picked it up. Juncker being added mid-season really did alter their fortunes. All of a sudden became a more dangerous team with his addition, the Dane. Rodriguez really has this habit of chopping and changing the team around. Also the formation too. Good defensive play, just to shovel the ball out of play by Long Tim Wei. It's normally a 4-2-3-1, but he's occasionally gone for 4-4-2. 4-3-1-2, altering the creative fulcrum depending on the opposition in front of them. Best performance this season was the 4-1 win over Jubilo Iwata, also a 2-0 against Shonan Belmare. In comes the corner, and no challenge on Chen, who heads it away, but not far. Should be 3, is 3. Schalk, well, that's more or less his first touch and a goal. Alex Schalk off the mark for Urawa Reds. Oh, Shandong conceded early in their first match in the group, early in the second half, that is, and well, 8 minutes could be considered early here, I suppose. They stare further down the barrel now. So Alex Schalk has his first goal in the red of the Reds, and he couldn't miss. Struggled when the ball was played back over the top there, did Shandong. Squared by Miyamoto, and the former Servette player scores his first goal for his new club. Well, as a scorer for Servette as recently as early March, finished his career in Switzerland with back-to-back goals. Well played, Akimoto. Did well to maintain his footing there. They just have this desire to go for the jugular. And you really fear for Shandong. Going to be a long 35 minutes for them. Another ball whipped into the near post. Lin gets it away. Might be picked up by Zhonglin Ri. Over-exuberant challenge that time, but no danger. Well, damage limitation is the operation from here on in this AFC Champions League group for Yu Yanwei. Damage limitation in terms of the remainder of this match as well, really. Ball over the top, it's Yasui. Pulls the ball over to Sekine. Akimoto gets there. And Sekine may drive that into the near post. Oh, Akimoto had continued his run. It's sort of thumped at him, really. He couldn't get out of the way. Absolutely drilled cross from the right-hand side there by Takehiro Sekine. There ahead of Yao Zheng, but unable really to use that residual power of the whipped-in cross to direct it towards the target. Aho look to fashion another opportunity in pretty short order. So 3-0 is the score, and with more of a cushion, there are going to be more changes, I'm quite sure. Kai Matsuzaki now is going to be coming on for Tomoaki Akubo. So we'll use the full range of substitutions here. 5 changes allowed. So Matsuzaki, the 24-year-old, first taste of the AFC Champions League. Signing from Mito Hollyhock in J2, where he was well on the way to establishing a reputation as a goal-scoring threat from midfield. The offload from Mawatari, gets it back. A 3 to aim at in the middle, just came a little too heavy for Matsuzaki, who was arriving on the right-hand side there. That's the retrieval in for Shibato, given away. Bakram does well. There's room here for Shandong to do something in the opposition half of the field. It's Lu Yongtao, and again he wants the nick off the defender. Lu, difficult to know. Yeah, he was trying to sight her here towards the far corner. Had he sort of deliberately guided that with a little more precision, then Bakram could have been in on the far post. A danger signal will have sounded there, surely somewhere for Urawa Reds. Back they come quickly, working it with Takehiro Sekine, who's seen so much of the ball here for the Reds tonight. And then Shibato. And Mawatari just unable to keep that in play. So the Reds unlike Shandong, who've entered this competition as CSL winners, league champions, the Reds had to rely on their Emperor's Cup win to join Frontale, the Yokohama F Mariners and Vissel Kobe. Qualified through the league route, top 3 finishers in J1 last season, those teams. Despite not winning the top flight in Japan for over a decade and a half, they have finished second 3 times in the 15 seasons since 2006 and that last league win. Follow-up season in 2007 when they were 2 points behind Kashima Antlers, a single point behind Gamba Osaka at the end of the 2014 campaign, and then they were actually overall champions, the Reds, in 2016. But the J-League was organised differently then. 2-legged playoff to determine the J1 winners. They lost that to Kashima Antlers. Still got into the Champions League, which resulted in their last continental triumph. Akimoto! Yeah, just took that little bit of extra time to spin and get it onto his left foot. Good cover. Jin, who gets across sharply there. It's an important intervention. An hour has gone here in Buriram. Urawa Reds 3, Shandong Taishan 0. Kazuaki Mawatari. Yeah, about to take the corner. Very deep, headed through, sort of into the ground and up. Safe enough though for Cow. We saw Mawatari before he took that corner just take a swig from the water bottle. It is really hot here still. It's approaching 20 past 10 at night local time. The thermometer peaking at 26 degrees here. Energy sapping conditions. But the Reds are still full of running, and they hope full of more goals. And after that playoff defeat to the Antlers in 2016, a year later, they were in the Champions League final, the Reds. One of the best nights in their history as well, after drawing the away leg at Al Hilal. 2 minutes from time in the home leg, Rafael Silva got a late goal to bring the house down in Saitama. Deng gets away, and Bakram collapses under the challenge from the defender there. The referee again stares it down, but decides nothing was untoward. And then Matsuzaki threatening to scamper away for Urawa Reds. That's as blatant as you're going to see from Yongting Wei there. Iwanami. Shibato there for Mawatari. There goes Akimoto. Working the triangles. It was Matsuzaki who made the dash. Miyamoto. Matsuzaki, there's the step over. Tries to hit the byline, draws the challenge. A really good positive play that from the substitute Kai Matsuzaki. Corner has been won here. We have 25 minutes to go, and we are seeing Kasper Juncker. Mid-season arrival last year changed their fortunes. The Danish compatriot of Alexander Schultz. Mawatari is withdrawn, and a scorer on match day 1, 8th minute goal against Lion City Sailors. Kasper Juncker goes hunting for more spoils here. Here comes the corner, pass through everyone. Pick up from Matsuzaki, useful cross. Again, they haven't completed the clearance. Covering was Sekine. The high ball was too high for everyone. Well, we still have 24 minutes, still a quarter of this game to run. It's just a question of how much Urawa Reds ease up to save the energies. A huge match coming up 4 days from now against Daegu, the first of that double header with the Koreans. There goes Schalke. Unable to pick out the colleague. 2 red shirts had raced up on the right-hand side to support Kasper Juncker in the middle. One or two tired challenges coming in now from Shandong Taishan. There goes Matsuzaki, who's looked useful since coming on. A quick shove it out wide, the crossing responsibility given to Yuta Miyamoto. High hands up to block the cross in. So free kick. Jean readies himself here for the last 20 minutes of this AFC Champions League match. Right-sided defender. So they'd all retreated. Good timing by the 2 runners on the far side. You're watching there the 3rd goal for Urawa Reds tonight. First for the club for Alex Schalke. They got relegated from the Scottish Premier League in his time north of the border there in the UK, formerly of Ross County. Had 3 years there before he moved to Servette. Did Schalke. Confirmation of the change. Header is blocked. Second chance to get it clear is not taken again. So loose once more for Shandong. Sitting so deep. This is Miyamoto who will hoist it in. And finally, a bit of a breather. That's Iwanami, who'd stayed forward. They're sure to be cheering their team throughout this group. There's a big long break actually after the group stage of this season's AFC Champions League. Of course, the group stage is being pressed into this 1 month period. And then after qualification has been ensured, we won't see the knockout stages till the early part of 2023. The calendar in line with other continental tournaments for clubs around the globe. They look all set to be there. Urawa Reds, the team of Rodriguez, the Spanish coach. Schalke just looking for the right option, in the end goes heavy over the top of Jonker. So Schalke for the Netherlands, Jonker and Schultz for Denmark. They have another European representative in David Moger Carlsen, the Swedish midfielder. Using full rotation here, the 28-year-old Mubba Carlsen, the scorer of 2 goals in the victory over Lion City on match day 1. Not in the party tonight. They haven't needed him. Here comes Bakram, all on his own. Nice step in field, Bakram, and then gets the shot off. So appealing for contact off the defender, doesn't get his wish, and the Reds start off again quickly. Pass down the line, give it away that time to Chen Zhechuan. Well played by Chen, and they have a runner here in Liu, but that's a tap back to Zeon Suzuki. Really haven't had too much time to mention Suzuki, the 19-year-old goalkeeper from Urawa Reds here. Designated group stage of the Champions League goalkeeper, the 19-year-old. The first choice really in the J-League is 35-year-old Shisaku Nishikawa. Ninth year for Nishikawa as the domestic #1. He's a Champions League winning goalkeeper as well against Al Hilal. They're losing just a bit of direction, understandably so, with the score as it is, and the heat as it is, taking so much out of these players. And there is a yellow card for Chen Zhechuan here. snapping at Sekine. Catching him after he managed to effect that pirouette there, Takehiro Sekine. Been really busy for Urawa Reds down the right-hand side, combining well with Miyamoto. Schalk looks determined here. So 3 in the box either side of the 2-man wall, which they're using as a screen ahead of the Shandong wall. Well, Schalk will bend it brilliantly past Cao Zheng for a fabulous 4th goal for Urawa Reds. Oh, well, he had that glint in his eye as he lined it up. He knew what was coming. Alex Schalk has arrived for the Reds. A ripping finish, a 2nd goal on his AFC Champions League debut, and it was an absolute beauty. Well, he knew that was in from the moment it left his boot. Cao left clutching at thin air there. Phenomenal hit for number 4. Oh. It had height, it had bend, it had swerve. A zinger from Schalk. Well, what a player Urawa Reds could have on their hands here. He ended that career in Switzerland with back-to-back goals. He's got 2 here on his continental debut. Off the bench for 10 minutes, the last 10 minutes in the draw at FC Tokyo. That was their last domestic engagement before flying to the camp here in Thailand. Didn't feature in the opening match. Boy, is he featured here. In between Miyamoto and Juncker, neither knew who the pass was intended for, both assuming the other player. Well, 2 matches into the domestic campaign for Urawa Reds, the continental campaign I should say, and 2 4-goal hauls. There might even be more before this match is out. Shandong will hope to get on the board. They have back-to-back matches against Lion City Sailors over the next 2 match days, Thursday and Sunday. Schalk works hard to keep possession. And now Yusuke Matsuo will come on here. Races run for Takehiro Sekine, the captain's armband being worn by Sekino impressively here. And he's earned the early withdrawal, if you will. Yusuke Matsuo, the scorer against Lion City Sailors. Got the goal early in the 2nd half to really kill off the challenge of the Singapore team. 24-year-old midfielder. There goes Matsuzaki. Working hard to keep the ball in play. They're still really going for it here. Goal difference could be a feature. They're just taking no chances in this group, Urawa Reds. With, remember, only the group winners guaranteed a spot in the last 16. There are 10 groups, 5 in the western, 5 in the eastern zones. The top 3 runners-up from each zone will go through, so 2 runners-ups will miss out. A last 16, similar to other continental competitions elsewhere, particularly if you follow the UEFA Champions League. So that's the first knockout round, 16 teams in there, and the volley into the ground from Juncker. Can't replicate the heroics of his fellow European goal-scoring sub off the bench, Alex Schalk. Schalk there, trying to combine with Akimoto. Inside the last 10. Iwanami with the pass, a little too heavy. They managed to hustle it back here. Alex Schalk rolls it across, playing their way through. It's Juncker, it's too near the goalkeeper. But every time, really, they've come forward, they have looked like at least getting a shot away, testing Cao Zheng. Akimoto, it was his goal back in the 25th minute that got the party started here for Urawa Reds tonight. It's quickly on there by Matsuo, one of the substitutes. Well, they just want the referee to call time here. Shandong Taishan. Lunging challenger to Kai Matsuzaki. Schalk, who bent in the spectacular free kick for the 4th goal for Urawa Reds, has moved away here. They left it there to Keita Yusui to see if his luck was in. Off the top of the wall. Yusui goes to retrieve. Good ball across there to Akimoto! So close to number 5. A clean strike from Yusuke Matsuo, but pulled across the face. Not far away. Cao stretching. Would have loved another goal to add to his one at the start of the second half against Lion City. I'm sure there'll be further opportunities in this group. Another solid performance in the middle of the park from Yusuke Matsuo here. Free kick for Shandong Taishan. Haven't been too many of those awarded. Well, full stop, certainly in the opposition's half of the field. Yeah, just a little late. It's Iwanami who's taken the captain's armband from Takehiro Sekine. a spectacular moment at the opposite end. At least the goalkeeper is called upon on one occasion. Suzuki getting down low to his right to stop the shot. Fanyi, who hit that free kick. Still no goal for Shandong in this Champions League group. Rare occasion of Akimoto having his pocket pick there. Fanyi brought it forwards. And Yishan Long, way down the right-hand side, just enjoying a little bit of territory as the end draws near tonight. Loose pass briefly, 3-on-2. Yusuke Matsuo away down the left-hand side. It's Matsuo! Oh, and it's headed over the top by Juncker. Well, he was herring in at such a fair old lick there, the Dane. Amazing. Would have thought any kind of contact here would have been good enough to have the ball in the back of the net, but somehow he's headed that over the top. Well, it all happened at pace, in fairness, in Kasper Juncker's defence there. That the Reds will perhaps feel that there should have been 5 on the board. Akimoto, great first touch, and then the skip round the back with his second. Takes out the cross. Juncker was the target. Cao Zheng stretches himself. But a very happy return from this second AFC Champions League engagement. That's what Ricardo Rodriguez is heading for. There will be positives for Yu Yuan Wei of Shandong Taishan as they approach the next matches. 2 played after this one, 4 to go in the preliminary stage group. It's not been a humiliation of the magnitude of the weekend defeat, nor that experience by Guangzhou Evergrande at the hands of Kawasaki Frontale earlier. So perhaps they can nick something against Lion City Sailors, but really can't underestimate the strength of that result and the shockwaves it will send around. City Sailors defeating the Daegu, the Korean team, would have been favourites alongside Urawa Reds to go through from this section, or at least finish in the top 2 places and challenge for top spot, the one automatic qualifying place. But Lion City will be up there, and now it will be Urawa Reds looking to keep it very safe against Daegu in their back-to-back series coming up. Thursday and Sunday, those 2 matches. So last minute of the 90. Shibata, calming presence at the base of the midfield for Urawa Reds. Sterner challenges will present themselves, though, the deeper we get into this group and indeed competition He'll know that, Urawa Reds will know that, but you can only spot aside what's placed in front of you. And the Reds have done that in their first 2 matches in this group. The touch off there from Matsuo, the substitutes trying to combine. And it drifts out of play for a corner. So, defending until the very end here, the Shandong Taishan. Five in the box here, looking to get on the end of the corner. It carries all the way over. We're going to have 3 extra minutes at the end here. Ball down the line, just rolls out of play. So the young team put out by the CSL champions in 2021, Shandong, with another harsh lesson in the realities at the top end of continental football. But it is all character building, as they say. Lion City, the next opponents. Can they do anything there? He'll certainly need to rotate his squad, won't he? Yanwei of Shandong when they get to the next 2 matches in the competition. Oof. He's on his hat-trick, Shulk. Went for the side footer, went for the placement. Served him well, I suppose. That choice with a brilliant free kick goal he scored earlier. He's bent that over the top. That really would have been something. A hat-trick off the bench on his AFC Champions League debut. Not to be, or at least not to be there, but still, he's arrived. Clear tug on the shirt there of Kota Yusui. It was well played by Matsuzaki, shovels it outside for Miyamoto. And the side foot past the goalkeeper from Yasui makes it 5. Right at the death, they get another. Shandong left shattered again. Urawa Reds rampant in Buriram tonight, just in the nick of time. Keto Yasui rolls that shot past Cao Jiang and completes the misery for Yu Yanwei. They were so patient here, and it served them well all night. I think he's a bit unsighted there, the goalkeeper. Having said that, it's a late dive. There's a nick, isn't there, in fairness, off Lin Guoyu. Oh, nothing has broken the way of Shandong. And another heavy defeat in this AFC Champions League group. That's that. 2 matches in, 4 in the first match, 5 in the second for Rodriguez's Urawa Reds. They are sitting pretty at the top of their AFC Champions League group tonight after the 4-1 win over Lion City Sailors. Akimoto, Schultz, Schalk with a couple on his AFC Champions League debut, and then Yasui in the 3rd minute of stoppages at the end have registered another win for the 2-time AFC Champions League winners. And they will be looking forward now to their back-to-back fixtures against Daegu, when they will hope to consolidate top spot and be sure of finishing top of the section. Ricardo Rodriguez then, a very happy coach here, having seen his team demolish the opposition for the 2nd AFC Champions League match in a row. Juncker missed an open goal. It could have been an even more severe scoreline, but 5 will do for Urawa Reds here. A very impressive display, putting the challenge of Shandong Taishan very much to bed here. It's finished 5-0.